It's time. Let's open the box of another Skywing aeroplane. That's a long box. Unfortunately this time we're not going to open the wing box because by accident I've been sent yellow wings and I actually have ordered a white aeroplane. But that's being sorted. It's a local person getting a yellow one, so we're just going to swap them over. I've got my apprentice asleep over there. Evie. Yep, slightly awake. So this was packed all really neatly, but I couldn't resist having a little sticky beak. So here's our cow. Not as much packed into it as usual. Just a spinny bit and some cuffs. But I really like what I see with this cowling. Quality is really good. The paint's really shiny and nice. I'm not going to be able to resist throwing some wax on that. I like that the baffles are done, the pre-cut foam baffles. I mean, it's not the hardest job doing that, but you know, if they can do it for you, hell yeah. But this is a stunning piece. My reflection there. So yeah, this is a really good start so far. It's been a while since I've got a 35% model. Forget that just getting it on the table is a bit hard to take the box off. And taking the box off itself is a mission. It's actually, everything here is really nicely packed. I like these little foam formers that hold the fuse in place. Everything looks really good so far. Oh well, better start pulling some bits out and popping them on the table and we can have a sticky beak. So, sorry if there's a bit of background noise. The weather in Sydney has been utterly horrendous lately, to say the least. But we will persevere. And, you know, it's coming up to Christmas. It's a Friday night. Got a cold can of beer. Let's look at some aeroplane bits. I may have pulled the big bit out, but we'll save that till we've got through the small stuff over here. So everything's packed as you'd expect. Number 63 is on review, so I hope they watch this video and hopefully I've got really good feedback for them. So let's have a look here at an elevator. As might make sense to most people, I think we'll just look at one of each control surface. I'll let you know if there's any issues with anything, but I think this looks really good so far. Well, I have to say, don't know if this is coming across on camera very well, but this is outstanding quality. I am really pleased with the look of this elevator. Well, there's one little criticism. It was the same on my 91 inch. So this cutout is huge for your elevator horns. I kind of wish they'd just make that a bit smaller. It really doesn't need to be that big. Yeah, we can see our little bolts for the quick release mechanism down there. Otherwise, this looks like this might be the nicest covered ARF I've ever had. This is a really good start going on right here. Love the pre-hinged and covered over hinges. That's just a classy touch for the lazy aero modeler like me. Not sure how flash this will look on video, but we've got some wing bags. Not much to say about these. I've had a couple of sets of them. No issues with the marking wings or anything, so really happy so far. Wing bags are folded up here. It's interesting. Often you see the wings come in them. Just not much to it. There's a slight complaint. I wish the horizontal stab bag had a slot for the tube. It's a very minor complaint. I'm going to put it out there anyway because I'm a pain, but that could be something they might improve on down the line. There we go, to another nice covered piece. Well, I've got to say this looks really good. Hinges look good. Covering is absolutely spot on. Sorry, focus. Trailing edge looks nice and straight. Yeah, we're off to a really good start on this plane. I won't subject everyone to the pain of watching me unwrap this with one hand, but it's all wrapped up nicely in those foam formers in the box. It'll look pretty solid. But this is a pretty exciting part of opening a new plane. Let's take this apart, take the plastic off and see what I've got. Well, just popped open the bag and you're seeing it basically the first time I've taken a look at it. I've got to say, this is clean. Had a really good experience with Skywing models before. Excuse me, just burping down some beer. Sorry about that. I'm very professional at this. I like the little blue accents on the dash. This blue RC Skywing logo. It's pretty funky there. It's all the usual stuff going on. We got a quick release. Canopy fit looks really good. No complaints there. Motor box is nice and beefy. Tunnel down there for all you canister types. Yeah. Oh, pre-drilled the firewall now. That's interesting. Usually they're just marked out. I imagine they're pretty accurate with that, so I'll let you know how that goes when we bolt an engine up. Which actually is interesting. I'm going to be using an engine I've never tried before. I got a deal I couldn't refuse on a DLE 130 and I thought, hell, a lot of guys seem to really like them, so let's give it a whirl. Sorry, this will just take two hands. Well, canopy comes off, no dramas. That fit really nicely. Let's take a peek inside. All this nice foam ducting for your outlets. Try and keep it clean if you're opening them up. Really excited that they've got the same system as the 91-inch. Wings latched. And you can't put the wing on without latching. You can't put the canopy on without latching up the wing, and that is, that's a model saving feature. That's a safety feature. I think that's just a really brilliant piece of work. Well, I'm not sure where that came from. Any guesses? Looks kind of like scrap from manufacturing. Well, hopefully that wasn't important, but I'll keep an eye out and let you know if I find where it's from. All the usual 20 gauge extension leads in there. Still learning how to use this thing. All inside the fuse looks good. I love the clear tube. It's a nice feature. But yeah, the covering on the, what do you call this, a turtle deck? That's just spot on. Sorry, focus is losing us a bit on the shininess. Geez, they don't weigh anything before you put some gear in it. Underside, screws already sitting there ready to go. I mean, how lazy can we be? Screws, once again, ready to go. Ready to bolt that landing gear on. The cow. It's nice. A little helper to make sure you put your throttle servo in the correct orientation. We're on the right track. Also, they like these little rubber grommets for your ignition leads. Yeah, the underside of this looks as good as the side does. Got no complaints here. If you're not familiar, this is the quick release elevator situation. That's the elevator latched. Drop the pin in, latched. Pull the pin, slide the lever, unlatched. There's really not many complaints can be made about that. I love that you don't have screws that can vibrate loose. It's just a system that's, you know, it's well proven now just to be bulletproof. You know, so many people flying these models, and I've never heard of a drama with this system. Magnets don't vibrate loose. So, this has been really good result. There's really not much more to say. Little slots for your panel mount XT60s, so they'll come in handy. I like that there's actually a lot more included on this one. There's 2 at the back and 4 at the front, so that'll make it a lot easier to lay that all out. It's interesting, those slots there. I wonder if that's for electric or if they are planning for you to put your ignition module there now with the leads coming out, opposed to putting your ignition module under the hatch. To be honest, that actually sounds a bit easier, because then you don't have wires at the top here when you pull the hatch off. And even look a little rubber grommet for any leads that go through there, a little pass through. That's a really nice touch once again. But yeah, really excited to have a 120cc plane that, you know, latching the wings on is that easy. Oh well, time for us to start looking at all the millions of bits and bobs of included hardware. Here we go. Gonna try and one take this, see how I go reaching around the old camera. I've got a refreshing beverage in hand. Let's do this. So, starting out with something not particularly exciting, but let's cover it anyway. It's a tail wheel. It goes like this. Meow. Usual drill. Nicely bushed thing. Nice and carbon. Bloody strong. Not much to write home about there. It just does the job. Little ball link that goes in the rudder. Push rod here. Really not much more to say on that bit. Let's move along. Neat inclusion on the NG is this tail wheel cover. So this covers the mounting hardware and that for the tail wheel. Looks really neat. Tidies up the back of the plane a little bit. Not much to it. Weighs nothing, as you'd expect. I'll leave that in the bag because, yeah, it's not particularly interesting. Whoa, we got a big bag here, so let's have some fun. Linkages, they're all the same size now. I think they are. Well, that makes things quite idiot proof. They're always pretty nice, these little turnbuckles. Bags of ball links, cap screws, just a little neat thing they include. Very small detail, but all the hex head screws are this flange washer style. Excuse the dirty hands, I should have washed them when I got home from work. But that's really nice quality, works really well. Saves you from putting washers under them. Big bag of horns, going to be doing some sanding later. Cable tidy. I don't really like this stuff. I like the stuff I use, which is black, and it's a bit more, I don't know, it just feels a bit nicer. This does the job. It's nicely included too. A little rubber trim. So this is really handy. Any cuts in the fuse, put this around the landing gear cuffs. Works really well. I just thin CA it on. Some people say that doesn't work, but it's been there for years for me, so I'm not going to change now. Aluminium back plate for the spinner. Ooh, better grab the spinner too. Spinner looks nice. That's shiny. Monkey like shiny. So, spinner, backplate, drill template out of plywood. I actually have the DA drilling template, so I'll use that instead. Nice that this is included though, because, yeah, as we all know, a nice painted spinner like this is $200 odd, so that's $200 less that this build's going to cost me. This will be the throttle linkage kit. Nice ball link at each end. One of the other major brands, they include a EZ connector, you know, the little grub screw style one. Really don't like them in this situation. They work really good in smaller models and that kind of thing, dealing with less vibration, but yeah, nice little ball links, little cap screws, a little spacer if you need to correct your throttle geometry a little bit. It's neat. These are the little XT60 mounts, so these go into those holes we looked at in the fuselage for the panel mount XT60s. Again, I just glue the XT60 in here and then screw it up from underneath. I really need to find a way to do fixed focus on this Pixel phone, but I hope you are all getting the gist. So it looks like I've got some fuel stuff now. So, Velcro, nice, hold your tank down. So this is a fuel outlet and fuel, that's just the outlet, sorry. Outlet there and filler there. These seem to last really well. Again, pretty good quality units. They'd be, you know, $30 with other brands. They're included here. Little fuel tank mounts. These will do the job. You just super glue those to the airframe, strap the tank down, you're good to go. And some of this blue Tygon. This stuff's probably nice enough, but I prefer to use the large desert aircraft stuff. It just feels a bit higher quality. This is probably fine. I doubt anyone ever has an issue with this, but you know, I have a lot of the other stuff here, so I just tend to use it. Oh, I won't bother packing that up just yet. I'll move on. We're nearly through everything. This was should be a pretty quick video. Hopefully people will resonate with my fast approach to this. Got our fuel tank. These are nice. I do still prefer to run a bit of hardline in here. I actually looked at Timmy over in America from Northwest RC. He actually suggests using a fast food straw over that as a way to make it stiff, opposed to the bit of hardline in it. And actually, I've got to say that's probably a better way to do it. I like the fact that you won't risk putting something metal in there that could be sharp or could wear on things. Just a nice way. I mean, it is very unlikely that it'll ever be a problem, but I have seen it happen, and it's just not worth the risk. So, you know, there's another $40 you would have saved buying Skywing opposed to other brands. They've never given me issues. This will be my 4th Skywing gas model, and all the tanks have been great. Getting onto some round bits. Aeroplanes don't use the round bits very often, except for when taking off and landing. Usual Skywing foam wheels. These are nice and light. Little alley hub in there. Much lighter than I think the alternatives on the market. They do come with the downside that if you leave them sitting there on the side like that, they will tend to sort of flat spot. But Skywing sort of got this covered with this little bit of Lego you put together. Throw together some stands that sit up on the axles, take the weight off the wheels while it's in storage. Negates that problem, allows you to run lighter wheels without having to worry about it. And here comes, covered this a lot in my last video because they're really nice. That's mainly why I covered it. The Skywing axles. These are just the best thing on the market in their area. Nice and thick, beefy. Big cap screw on this end, a big nylock on this end. nylock over here to hold the wheel on, and you've even got this little fastener in the end that goes through the other side of the wheel pant to lock it all out. This is by far the best solution I've ever seen to an axle wheel pant mounting solution. Well, anyways, I've run out of bags. Somebody will get that Christmas working class reference. We'll leave it there. But that's everything in it. I'm looking forward to starting building this soon. I've basically got everything on the shelf ready to go. I will be probably trying to structure this build video series a bit better. I'd like to sort of cover the engine in one go. I'd like to cover the servo installation in one go, fuel setup, you know, try and make it a bit more helpful to people who maybe aren't interested in the whole video, but maybe just, you know, would like to see how I do it for some parts. I should obviously preface this with, I'm no professional, I'm not the best builder around. There are heaps of guys in this hobby way better at putting these models together than me. I try to do a neat job and I try to do a good job, and I found that there's no better way to learn than to put out there what I'm doing, and you know, if I'm doing something wrong, people will correct me, and if people correct me on anything I'm doing wrong in these builds, first thing I'll do is put a note up letting people know, hey, you know, I said do this, but you know, person X from Desert Aircraft said, you know, maybe this is a better way to do it. I'm the first person to kind of go, you know what, if there's a better way to do it, I'm going to start doing it that way. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've got you a little bit excited for the build video series. And yeah, I just can't wait to fly this plane. The 91-inch one has just exceeded all of my really high expectations, and I've got a hunch this will meet that really high bar. Alright, thanks for your time. If you watched this long, I really appreciate it.